Hey guys, and welcome to Creativity Level Zero. I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
Thanks for joining. So, Steve, how was your week
Yes.
this week? What were you up to?
I'm ashamed of this week. So it's been like a low-key goal of mine to try to lose weight during this quarantine stuff because I still haven't gone grocery shopping, and I was like, I'll just make small meals with what I have and lose weight in the process. It's like killing two birds with one stone.
Mm-hmm.
Never go grocery
Mm-hmm.
shopping. That's killing three birds with one stone. Never going grocery shopping, losing weight, not getting COVID.
Can you kill three birds with one stone?
If you're really precise.
How many birds in the hand? Is this a bird in the hand
Yeah,
bush thing?
you just keep all three birds in one hand and then you just smush them all at once.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Or you can ricochet, just like one.
That's what I
pebble
was
between
thinking.
them all.
Yeah.
Some sort of superhero. Um,
So what happened?
but instead, I just started ordering out, like just
Like a normal
takeout.
human.
Constantly, all weekend long, all week long. I've been pretty much almost one meal a day has been takeout, and it's felt amazing because I finally get to eat real food
Yeah.
again. Because that was the whole reason. I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired of eating white rice again. If I have to eat white rice one more time, I'm gonna lose my
Oh my
mind.
goodness. I can't believe you even buy white rice. After we
What do you
just
mean?
had
It's so
that,
cheap.
we just had that. For those who haven't heard it yet, go back and listen to our previous podcasts. We had a guest on it. Our guest, she loved all different types of rice, and she'd be ashamed to hear you like white rice as your main rice,
It's the most versatile rice. You can turn it into whatever.
but you
I
leave
even
it.
started to try to put different things in white rice just to make it taste a little bit different,
Try
you
butter.
know?
Have you tried butter?
Ooh, no,
Butter
I
and
should
rice
try
is
butter.
really good because it's salt, and rice actually is a little sweet for some reason.
That's interesting. I got
Yeah,
to try that. Yeah, I've tried olive oil with basil and like red pepper flakes. It tasted good. It
it's wrong
tasted fine.
direction. That's the wrong direction.
But I made it a little bit Mediterranean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Actually, if you want a pro tip for rice to make it delicious, is you can actually chop up some broccoli and slip it in the rice with the butter. And
Yeah,
broccoli and butter is good.
let me go get that fresh broccoli that's in my
You
fridge
should have a
that
garden out your
somehow
windowsill. Broccoli garden. Get with the
I should. At
times.
this point, I'm just gonna start digging a garden in my backyard, even though I live in an apartment complex.
Yep,
Screw the HOA.
that's right. I will get you one of the on your next birthday. I'll get you one of those windowsill gardens for grandmas, and you can hang them outside, and you
I
could
would love it.
right, and you could, and I'll get you some seeds. And I don't know what the seed part of the broccoli is, so just maybe try putting the whole broccoli floret in there and see
I
what
think that's
happens.
how it works. I don't remember how it works with broccoli.
Yeah, I definitely
Is
didn't
there
pass
seeds
that.
in broccoli? No, it's a vegetable, right? There's no seeds in vegetables.
I thought it was like a flower, like asparagus is a flower,
Right.
and so like flowers, don't you use like when you have broccoli, those little things at the end, aren't those the seeds?
No, I'm pretty sure anything that has seeds is considered a fruit. And
Okay.
then
Wait, what?
anything else, yeah.
No, pumpkins are not fruits.
Yeah, they are.
What about corn?
Corn, yeah, corn is like fruit. Corn is a
No,
fruit,
no,
yeah.
no, you're wrong. That's not how we define fruit.
Well,
No,
first of all, I don't think corn is seeds. Like
but the kernels are
the
seeds.
kernels, I don't think you can plant kernels and get
Yeah,
corn. I don't
that's how
think
you
that's how
plant.
it
Yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah. I've planted
You
corn.
plant
My
you
parents
planted
used to
corn.
have a corn in their garden. Yeah.
What? Who would grow corn in their backyard
Apparently in
garden?
Jersey, corn is like the best place. It's the best place to grow corn is Jersey. Tomatoes and
There are a
corn.
lot of corn. Yeah,
Yeah, if you ever
there are a
notice
lot
it.
of corn fields
We
around here.
tried
Yeah.
pumpkin, that was terrible. Squash, peppers, those all didn't come out. Peppers came out okay. Corn came out amazing. The tomatoes came out amazing. And some of the other stuff, like we tried watermelon, that was a no-go. Like some of them were no-goes.
Yeah, I feel like I need to look it up. Can you? Is corn a fruit? We need to look this up. Oh, that's a good topic.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that topic because I'm
Is-
not that
is-
much. I'm a corn cutter. I don't know if you've seen those people where they take the
uh,
corn.
oh, interesting.
What's it?
So whole corn,
Yeah.
like you eat on the cob, is considered a vegetable, but the
Oh.
corn kernel itself is considered a grain.
Oh, okay.
This is why several foods people think of as vegetables are actually fruits, like tomatoes and
I
avocados.
knew that.
So
Please.
corn is actually a vegetable, a whole grain, and a fruit. See, so yes, I was right. Corn is a
But you
fruit.
were also
Thank you.
wrong.
But I was also right, and that's all that matters in the end. Steve was
Is
right.
that how it matters? I'm a corn cutter, so like I get my corn and I
No, you're
cut the
not.
corn off the side.
Oh
Corn
my
cutter.
God, you look like a corn cutter.
I'm a corn
You.
cutter. You're right. You're
Oh
right.
my
I
goodness.
just need corn cutter glasses and I'd be a corn cutter. They're like those glasses, you know. So I
Corn
picked that
cutter.
up from back when we had braces because my parents obviously I told you we had corn in the garden. They loved corn. And
Right.
so they'd always have fresh corn, and with braces you can't eat corn. So
It's true.
they told us to cut the things, and then when I realized, why am I ever eating corn like a monkey? Why am I not just cutting it like a human?
No, because most of the time you're not getting the full kernel,
That's
and
okay.
it's and it's an experience. You
It is an
know.
experience for other
Yeah.
people watching you eat it. You need a
There's
splash guard.
that are like that. I mean, you can just cut an apple, but it's better to just eat it with your hand,
True.
because who wants to go through the extra effort of cutting
Hmm.
an
So
apple or
I think we're
corn?
at an impasse again, unfortunately. It seems like as you're giving me examples, I'm like, yeah, I cut all those foods. I don't know what to talk about. Apples I always cut
You cut your
because I
apples too?
dunk my
Oh
apples
goodness.
in peanut butter or Nutella. Dunk it. Dunkers.
You had to take something that was healthy and make it worse.
It's still healthy, Steve.
in peanut butter and Nutella? No.
It still has the same nutrients. It's just got some extra loving on it.
Most things when you add it's got some extra loving.
Yes. Mhm.
It's usually a bad thing.
That's like who is that lady? Paula Deen? Was that her name?
The one that fries butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll just eat whole sticks of butter.
That's right. Everything she made.
Yeah, I've seen her cooking shows before, and you watch it almost in disgust and amazement at the same time because you're like, oh my God, that looks like a heart attack waiting to happen, but it looks tasty as hell.
Yep. Mhm. I see. I can keep a good figure with that. Have you
You'll
ever?
you'll get the Paula Deen look. You
Oh
know?
yeah, for sure. We don't want that. Mm-mm. Have you ever made frosting from scratch?
No, frosting.
So
I feel like it's got sugar.
So I can tell you a story.
Oh,
I was
no.
at a friend's house way back in college times. College. This was, but I think this might have been like after senior year of college. I go to this friend's place for like 3 or 4 days. They lived in a
Okay.
different state, so like I flew there, spent a few days there. And they had to make a cake, and I don't remember why they had to make a cake. And they made the cake, and I'm at their house, so it's always a little weird being the guest when someone else is doing something, because you're like, what am I to do here?
Yeah.
What am I allowed to touch? And like,
That's like you have to do the, complimentary. Oh, do you need help with something? Yeah.
yep. Oh, should I
Like, oh,
be? Yeah.
no. Just sit there and hang out for a little bit. You're like, okay.
Well, so here's what made it more awkward. They rented a house, like an actual house, with another person. So they had a roommate, but the roommate had their own room. But because the house was like a shared area, they each had their own stuff in their own room. So the living area was just like a couch and a chair and like a table. There wasn't a TV in the living area. So like I couldn't be in their room watching TV while they were in the kitchen, because then it would be like you'd look antisocial and all that stuff.
Right.
So, and this was also when smartphones were like just kind of coming out. So I couldn't even play on my phone really. It was the worst.
You couldn't play Snake, that's the old school phone game,
Oh
right?
yeah, I would probably play that calculator game, that Phoenix calculator game, where we just
Oh
press the
man,
man, like
yeah,
old school.
K89 guys.
Yeah. So anyway, they said, "Oh, I gotta just ice the cake." I was like, "Perfect," and then we'll go. So I'm like getting dressed, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna take a little while. We gotta make the icing." It's like, "What?" Who?
Make the
Yeah, I
icing
was like, "Who makes icing? Like, what generation is this?" And what they
with
did.
cream cheese icing, because a lot of people do that. I know a
No,
lot of
I
people make.
want to say yes, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was
Wow, I've
regular
never
icing.
seen. Wow, I've never seen that
I will
ever.
tell you how crazy this was. They had a cup for the icing that was, I'm gonna say this big, and on podcast terms, it's like I don't know, the thickness of I don't know, what is that? A milk carton?
The top of a baby's head.
What kind
Just
of a
picture right
sicko
now
are
a
you?
baby head.
That is not. Oh my goodness. Let's think of something more relevant. Let's just say it's like 4 inches
Really big
diameter.
chocolate. Okay, sure.
Or big chocolate cookie. All right, big chocolate cookie. So
That's
they had
what
a
I was gonna
bowl that was like the diameter of a big chocolate cookie, and it wasn't that deep, like 2 or 3 inches deep. And they
say. Okay.
said they were gonna make enough icing for the whole cake in that bowl. And then I was like, I don't know how this magic is gonna work, this voodoo jazz here. And they had confectioner's sugar, which I know is like 5 times as much more sugar than regular sugar. And then they
Right.
mixed it with regular sugar and water, and it just disappeared into a liquid. And we were putting it in slowly. It just kept disappearing. It kept disappearing, and then I was like, "Where is the sugar going?" And they're like, "It's becoming icing." And as you poured it in, it slowly thickened from a liquid into icing. And I realized icing is just condensed sugar. Like it
Yes,
is
that's
so
literally
thick.
what it is.
Because I thought confectioner sugar was like extreme,
Right.
but icing is a whole nother level.
That's why it tastes so good. That's why I leave that piece on the cake last. I'll
I
eat the
actually.
insides of it first, and then I just consume icing.
Oh my, you monster! You eat it raw?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I don't need the
Oh,
rest of the cake because that just takes it away from the pure,
oh,
sugary goodness of icing. I
oh,
want the full icing experience.
oh. Can I even
Haven't
ask?
you, when your
I
mom makes
scoop
cake
off
or
the ice
something,
cream.
you scoop it off? What? You're a
Yeah,
sugar guy too.
I
I don't
know, but
even know.
icing is just. Ugh. It's like they gave up when they made it. They're just like, we could make something delicious, but we're
No.
making you icing.
When you're making cake and then there's like the leftover icing, don't you just, scoop that right into your mouth? When your
Oh,
mom makes cake or something and you're a
oh,
kid, it's like, oh,
oh.
see, you can eat the leftover icing, even the icing that's on the like spatula that
Oh,
you use to put it on. You just start licking that like a
oh
lollipop. Oh, so
gosh.
good, so good.
Oh, I'll do that with like cake mix, but I don't know about icing.
Cake mix was good too. Yeah, on the
Ah,
like
yeah.
the batter.
Yeah.
What do you call that? The whisks or whatever.
Yeah, what are they called? Spatulas? Yeah.
No, no. What?
No, when you're smoothing out the cake, they use those.
Oh no, no. I was saying when you're actually
Oh, you.
making the cake
Oh.
batter and you have that
Oh,
mixer and you
the
have the
whisk,
like
yeah, and you get
yeah,
all like the unmixed batter in there
yeah,
too.
so
Yeah,
good.
extra sugary and
Yeah.
crunchy. You're like, raw cake mix. And it's crazy too because every time I buy cake mix, if I ever have people over who, if they're any way a cook, so you and me, we're not cooks. You can obviously tell.
Speak for yourself, okay?
Okay, white rice man.
I
Okay.
when I cook rice
Spicing it
and
up with a
vegetables.
piece of basil. Okay. You're like, here's my rice. How can I cook this better? Ta-da! One piece of basil.
I don't have anything else in the house. All I
Because
have
you're not a
is spices.
cooker. You don't have the ingredients.
Well, you got to get some fresh ingredients.
But that's what I'm saying. Cooking people just have that stuff all over.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, if a cook comes into my house, anytime I make a cake or even mention should I make brownies or a cake, they say from scratch. From scratch, Jim? Should we make it from scratch? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make it from scratch from Betty Crocker. And then they're always like, it tastes so much better from scratch. And then I have to say, all it is sugar and flour and dried eggs in that thing.
Yeah, it's
and
all
I'm now, yeah. And sometimes you don't even get the
in
eggs.
the box already.
Yeah.
You don't need to make it from scratch.
Yeah.
You're putting like eggs and stuff in there, right?
Yeah. So usually I'll do the eggs and milk, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But fun fact, I don't eat that many eggs anymore due to being old, and my stomach is not what it used to be. So I have been in the situation making brownies multiple times and not having eggs.
What? How does
multiple
things
times?
Together?
Well, I don't know if you want to know because I don't know if you want to know because when I tell you this, you're going to always be on guard because I've always used this moving forward because I don't have eggs in my house. And you may or may not have had one before.
Oh no. What has happened?
You use applesauce.
Oh, I have heard applesauce. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a better alternative than what we've used. So
what's the
one
other
time
option?
in Alaska, we were also making brownies and we didn't have eggs. And so we're like, oh, let's not do the eggs or the oil and instead use mayonnaise.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my goodness, that would come out even worse.
It's just eggs and oil. That's what mayonnaise is.
Yeah, but it's like whipped up and then it changes molecular structure. It's like not it's not even the same.
Well, it tasted fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it tasted just like brownies, but the consistency was a little chewy. It's like you had brownie Laffy Taffy.
Oh, I was gonna say because the applesauce ones come out as if they are moist brownies.
Yeah,
they're not like cakey. They're denser and moister. They're definitely not dry. If you think of brownies, you could have dry, broken up ones, or you could have like moist ones. They're moist, which most people like.
The mayonnaise ones were moist too.
Moist, and yours were moist and a little taffy. Maybe that's a sweet spot. Maybe it's a little
moist and chewy.
Maybe that's our sweet spot. A little mayo, a little applesauce, and that'll get us there.
I wonder if anyone's getting annoyed with us saying moist so much.
No, we've only said moist like 4 times after I just said it.
You said what?
Moist. So I wanted to talk today to you about a topic I was thinking about recently.
Okay.
So
wait.
Go
Before that,
Go ahead.
You didn't say anything about what you did during the week.
This will go into it. I did some of this week.
Okay.
So I'll start by saying this week I was looking to buy some stuff because we're still in lockdown here, and you got to get stuff shipped. Now I live in the Goldilocks zone. So for those who don't know, the Goldilocks zone, the official definition, is the 1-day delivery in Amazon. That's the actual definition.
Okay. I thought you just had bears everywhere.
For a guy who went to science class, there is an actual definition for it, which is that's the zone in which that's the distance from the sun to have liquid water on a planet. So our planet is in the Goldilocks zone, like Mars is in the Goldilocks zone. It's at the edge of it, right?
I think Goldilocks usually just anything that has to do with a sweet spot, like a specific spot.
True. Yeah. Which is weird because Goldilocks, wasn't she the one with the 3 bears?
No, but she only wanted the perfect
the just right.
Right.
When you heard that story, didn't you always want porridge? Like, I didn't know what porridge was.
I was like, porridge always sounds so good, know? It's not.
So I wanted porridge, and my family always bought oatmeal. Now, for those who don't know, oatmeal can be purchased plain. It tastes like bread. It tastes like sawdust, really, is what it tastes like. All right, oatmeal
How many
plain.
times have you eaten sawdust?
Enough. Enough when you're cutting things, you're like, I need an N95 mask for this. That's why I have one. But yeah, my parents would always get a plain, and I'd always be like, why can't we have sugar in this house? Like, I just didn't. And to all the parents out there listening, here's a pro tip from a child who came from a sugarless household. As soon as I left my parents' house, okay, we had plain oatmeal, and our cereal choices were Cheerios, Special K, and Wheaties. And for those who don't know, Special K has the most sugar in all those, and it's
I was
1
gonna
gram.
say Special K has sugar, right?
Yeah, but back then it only had like 1 gram of sugar. Now it's probably a little bit sweeter. All of those, when you eat them, the sweetest thing that you're eating is the milk. Okay, so that's what I started with, and you got to think, if your child grows up like that, they're gonna immediately eat all the sugar everywhere else they could find it. That's what I did. I would go out and just.
You're gonna say, "Look how I turned out." You don't want them to turn out like
No,
this.
that's right. You don't want them to turn out like this. You just said it. You were like, Jim, you love sugar, and that's the problem, because to me it was like this addiction of, oh, where can I get the next Lucky Charms? You know?
Yeah. No, for me, my childhood breakfast was filled with sugar. Nutella was constant.
You introduced me to Nutella.
One of my favorite meals was toast with Nutella, and you dip it into hot chocolate. Oh my God, that is good. Just so good. Sugar overload, though.
Maybe we should be buying that now. That's a very COVID type meal. You're locked at home. You just need bread, which you can freeze, and then Nutella is good forever.
Yeah, no, but I feel like it's more of a winter, a fall.
Yeah,
if COVID lasts until January, that's what I'll start living off of.
Okay. Smart. And when I go to the supermarket to get Nutella, I'll let you know, on a little secret. I spend the extra money to get the smaller size. Because
why?
As soon as I open that Nutella, everything I eat goes into that Nutella jar. Apples go in there, cookies go in there, bread goes on bread. Dude, if I had a big jar, I would just die. Oh yeah, so I was talking about I forget now. Oh, the porridge. Yeah, I was going to tell you quickly about the porridge. Okay. So I told my parents I wanted porridge, and they were like, well, you have oatmeal. And you know how bad plain oatmeal is. And if you guys haven't had plain oatmeal, do yourself a favor and try it. Just to be thankful for what you have. In fact, it's so bad that I used to make it better. My parents used to let us put things in our oatmeal if it was healthy. I used to make it better. Well, if we had fruit. But I used to put walnuts in the oatmeal. And walnuts are already dry. And that made it juicy.
That's tasty, yeah.
I'd put walnuts and raisins in it to give it something.
Right.
But my parents went out and they bought us grits. Now, I don't know if you've had grits. Yeah. But grits is like quicksand.
I can't deal with the consistency.
It is like quicksand. It's not sure if it wants to be oatmeal or if it wants to be wood. It's just in between.
And I don't even know what grits are. I've had them just at restaurants, like at breakfast restaurants, and I just tried it, and I'm like, nope, grits. I'm not a grits guy.
Nope. So I looked online. So I remember having grits and hating it and being like, okay, so porridge sucks. When I got older, a friend told me grits are actually really good. A friend that was living in the South at the time. Like in the Carolinas areas, and they were like, it's really good. You should try it with jelly. And I was like, oh, maybe jelly or syrup would be good, right?
I've never had it with jelly or syrup.
I put jelly in the grits, and I mixed it around, and I literally couldn't taste the difference. And I was like, this thing is absorbing sugar like a sponge. So I just started dumping jelly in it, and you get to a critical point where the grits cannot hold any more jelly. And they start to turn purple, and you're like, yes, this is now tasting good.
Well, at that point, just eat the jelly.
So
you're eating the grits at that point.
So good. So the topic I want to talk to you about was, all right, so I'm in this Goldilocks zone, right? So I can order from Amazon. But Due to COVID, the other stores have been stepping up. Walmart does next day delivery for me, and so does Target for free, based on where I live. So
Right.
my question to you was, recently, have you noticed any of these big box retailers improving not only their store, but like their customer service and their delivery when you kind of use them?
So I'm not a big delivery guy, which is weird because I'm a lazy guy. So you would think that I would go and get delivery, but I'm also an impatient person. I'm an impatient guy, and I'd rather just drive to the store, find what I want, pick it up, and go home. And now I have it immediately rather than go online. I get they'll do like next day delivery, but I don't want to wait till the next day. I want it now.
I need that toilet seat cover right now.
Right now, you know?
Yeah,
And so that's the like I don't do I know I have tons of friends, they'll even order all their clothes
their
online.
clothes. So
Yeah, and they
what
say,
if they
oh,
don't
if it doesn't
fit?
fit. They say if it doesn't fit, they just return it. I'm like, well,
How do
that
you
sounds like
return
an
it?
asshole.
How do you return
You,
it?
you go to the post office and you go and return it, return to sender,
Wait, they
that's
put it
free.
back in the same bag?
Yeah, I guess they send you like an envelope or something that's already prepaid that if you don't like it, you can send it back, you
Oh,
know?
so they try it on, and if they
Yeah.
don't like it, they put it into a bag that comes with it, and then they just drop it in the mail.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you
Yeah.
drop it in like your own mailbox?
I have no idea. I've never done any of this.
Okay.
You guys can comment below
Yeah.
and tell us because I am dumb in these things.
I mean,
But
I'm
no,
just,
I like going to the store, trying on the
yeah,
clothes
dude.
immediately.
I'm thinking of this right now. Like when we go to the store and try something on, no matter, let's say you're trying on pants. They generally have like a waist size, but every
Right.
single brand of pants, the numbers are different. So like
Yeah.
if you're like a 36 over here, you're like a 34 over here, and you're like a 38 over there, but oh, within those, there's this echelon of straight-legged and this fit and that cut, and you're just
Yeah.
like, I don't know how you could do that online.
I don't know. They supposedly I don't know, but people have been ordering clothes. My friends, that's all they do. They like order clothes online all the time.
You have fashionable
That's all.
friends. You have fashionable friends.
and um, you know, and then they make fun of me because I'm, a brick and mortar guy who's going into the stores and trying on stuff. I'm like, Steve, just you could just be in your bed on your phone, pants, you know.
Yeah, but how do they
Just
even
put in
know
your
what something
size,
looks
you
like?
get it, and then if you don't like it or if it didn't fit, you could then, I guess, say, "Oh, I need one size up." You return it, and then the next day you'll get your new pants.
But
But
when they're looking online, and with clothes, this always gets me, is colors. When I was looking online for even a TV stand, they had like cherry wood and like blossom wood and like all these colors for wood. I look at the picture,
right.
they all look like wood. And it's like, I can't imagine you're going to get pants and they're like, this one's black and this one's opal and this one's ebony. And you're like, what? And then you get them in person and you're like, this one's gray and this is not black.
Now, I think usually on those online sites, they have just like like a model and just the pants like slide. They
Yeah,
just
but the
change colors.
colors will
Like,
be
slide
rendered
out.
on your screen different than they are in person.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we could have, somebody who's like that as a guest on here to
True.
explain the whole thing. But I can tell you now that that's all they do. They shop like that, and
Wow.
I can't ever see myself doing that. I'm gonna be that old man. Kids no longer going to buy clothes in the store. Like in my day, we drive to the store and put on pants myself.
The robot overlord didn't put pants on for you. Did it yourself.
My pants weren't just holograms.
Yo, that could be a thing. Imagine that people just walk around in underwear and the rest of your clothing is just an
A
image.
hologram, yeah, you'd
Oh,
feel so free.
imagine it a step further where everybody wears the same $5 really cheap outfit like a shirt and pants.
Right.
But then you wear glasses and you see other people's avatars, right? So like
That would be cool.
I'll look
Yeah.
at you and then you'll be like, "Oh, today I'm wearing blue with red." And then like I look tomorrow and you could be like this is this, but you're really wearing the same thing every day.
Oh no, I was picturing it way different. Like you're saying, "Oh, put on these glasses." Oh, Steve's now wearing a blue shirt and red pants.
Because
But no,
that's
I was picturing, "Oh, I put on these glasses. Now Steve's a tiger."
that's fine. That's fine. If that's what you pay for, that's probably premium content though.
That's
You
right.
want to look like a tiger. I don't know how they do that.
The DLC,
Yeah, they could definitely put a tail on you. That kind of reminds me of when they came out with those Google glasses and I was watching the interviews of the people who wore them and they were like, "So tell me, you put no down here for that you didn't want to wear these Google glasses. Why not?" And the lady was like, "They're ugly." And then it's just like, "But they do all these things." Yeah, I don't want to be people looking at me like this. Like that was it. End of story.
That was their biggest thing is that it looked dumb.
Yeah.
It didn't look normal. You could tell that there's this whole contraption around your face.
I'm surprised that earbuds got through society so fast. The
Why?
Bluetooth headset slash earbud, the one thing in your ear. Because normally if you see someone with a headset on with wires, people can kind of visualize, oh, something's on their head and they're listening to something and there's a wire. But when things start to get wireless and you just have like nubs sticking out of your ears, they're like, is that a bug? And what's going on in there?
No, I usually get more annoyed when I used to work retail. You know, somebody would come through while you're at the cash register and be talking in their like tiny little
Oh.
headset, and I would think that they're talking to me, and then it would always be rude because I'd say, "Oh, excuse me, did you ask me something?" No, 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 no. I have something in my ear. Talking on.
How could you
Oh,
not notice this?
how could you not notice? Yeah, let me just scan this.
Dude, that I gotta say, let's call that out right now. If you're going to a store to buy something, food or a supermarket or whatever, like a clothing store or whatever, you shouldn't be on your phone because
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you're paying and
yeah,
you're going to a person,
yes,
I think it's very rude to be on your
yes,
phone
that's
because
what I
they're
meant. Only when you're paying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're trying to convey like this transaction with you. You're gonna be on your phone, then things go all sorts of haywire, and then you get annoyed because you're trying to have a conversation and another conversation at the same time.
Imagine if you were on the phone with someone trying to sell you something too. That'd be so confusing. You'd be
You're
like,
doing two
oh,
transactions at the same time,
you'd be
man.
like,
Killing
you'd be
killing four birds with one stone.
might as well have a little pee thing in the side too, like a catheter, so you can just get
Oh
everything
my
done.
god.
I think the exception would be if you're using a self checkout, which by the way is my favorite checkout, is the self
Right.
checkout, because the self checkout never makes a mistake. The guy,
I prefer the like weird things when you buy,
oh
if
yeah,
you're just getting vegetables and then you have to go through their menu to find what vegetable
oh
you
yeah.
have.
Well, my supermarket now does this cool thing where, like, in the vegetable section, they have scanners there. And you take your vegetable in the bag and you put it on the scale. And then it says, which vegetable is this? You just pick the picture and then it already knows the price and weighs it. And then it prints out a scanny sticker and you put it on the bag.
Oh, wow.
And the
Oh, that's
coolest
a
thing
good one.
about it is each section of vegetables and fruits only shows the pictures of the ones in that section.
Oh,
So,
perfect. Yeah, 'cause you
yeah,
don't want to have to scroll through.
exactly.
Yeah.
They do have the option where you could search for any code, like, and for some things like apples, I guess you can do that because they have the code on it. But for everything else, it's just like asparagus is a really good example because I like asparagus. And if I get the asparagus but I forget to scan it, I'll be like, all right, should I go back to the vegetable section and use that scanner, or should I go straight to the self checkout line and use that scanner? Both of them I gotta search. Which one's gonna be harder to find asparagus? So like, it's always a battle.
It's alphabetical, and asparagus is at the top.
Well, that's the thing. If you could do search by all products and do that.
Right.
Or you could always ask someone. Like the people who work there, somehow they know all the codes of everything. I don't know how they do it.
When you do it all day long, there's only so many
Yeah,
things.
dude. But they look at it. They're just like, "Oh, you're trying to ring up asparagus? I got you." And I'm like, "What? How many?"
I worked in the grocery store as a cashier, and I think the hardest part is when somebody brings a bag of cilantro or parsley because they look almost identical. I usually just give up and say, "Is this cilantro or parsley?"
And what do they say?
They'll tell me. It was like, "Oh, it's parsley," and they'll look at me strange, like, "How do you not know that?"
Yeah, how could you not know, cashier man?
They look almost exactly alike, and I don't feel like trying to learn,
The smells of the different ones.
Well, give
me your bag.
You just pick up someone's bag and start sniffing.
That's
Definitely
right.
cilantro.
Is this cilantro or marijuana?
How would you know what it smells like, Dwight?
Yeah, that is one of the funnier episodes. You said I was conducting the investigation. The memory loss drug.
It was great.
So interesting how far we've come with that in general, though. Like culturally, I think in general it's good that we can joke about this stuff through TV shows.
What do you mean?
They could joke about marijuana on a TV show.
Oh,
like
yeah,
we just laughed
yeah.
about it. That was funny.
It's come a long way. The
Come a
war
long
on
way.
drugs is, I think drugs has won. So it's won the war.
True.
Yeah,
So what I wanted to ask you about it was, I personally felt like these stores, when I went in them even, have stepped up their game. Like Target has now a grocery section. My Walmart has a grocery section. And the stuff they sell there is nicer quality. I used to go to Walmart and it would be literal crap. Utter garbage. The stuff that would literally utter garbage.
I go to Walmart because of that reason. I just know, one, I don't like to deal with all those Walmart people. No offense to all you listeners out there that are big Walmart folks, but you see all types of characters at Walmart. There's a reason there's a website called People of Walmart.
True.
Although it's entertaining, I am somebody who just likes to go in and out for exactly
I don't want to be
need.
touched. I don't want to be grabbed on.
I don't. So Walmart's definitely not the place for me because it's just so much. And trying to find what you're looking for in Walmart's impossible.
Yeah, so Walmart has a terrible system. I think it's very similar to Home Depot and Lowe's. Their system is utterly atrocious to find something. However, both of those, all three of those stores have amazing websites. So I always use their websites on my phone when I'm in the store, like an idiot. So like, I'll be like, oh, I need to get some super glue. And this happens all the time because I use a lot of super glue. And I'll be like, okay, what aisle super glue in? Oh, okay, first let me go online and see which Lowe's am I in. This one. Super glue. It'll be like G32 bin 2. I'm like, oh, perfect. That's exactly where it is.
Wait, what? That's a thing? You can go on their website and it tells you where it's
Same thing with Walmart.
Oh,
I was looking for bubble wrap one time at Walmart, but I wanted bubble wrap sheets, not wrap. And my Walmart said they had it in stock online, and they just tell you the aisle and the bin number. And I'm like, perfect, go get it. The problem is, especially at Walmart, people just move crap around. It's just at Lowe's and Home Depot, it's pretty much there. At Walmart, it's kind of like a hunt and peck situation where you're like, okay, the treasure is buried here, but it's not here. Where is it? And you just look around. Like, if I was a kid, where would I throw it?
Yes, I know the feeling. When I used to work at Sears, and I worked in the men's section, and I organized the wall of underwear. It took me all day to organize that, so that way, small, medium, large was, in order, all the underwear. I would leave, come the next day,
Chaos.
It's like I didn't do anything. It made my whole job moot. I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm just gonna put things so they look.
So you're
It
one of
looks
those people.
organized.
You're one of those people that like when I get to a Target or like a Sears, and I'm like, all right, let me get a pair of pants. I'm like, okay, small, small, small. Oh, I guess this pile's all small. Right below that, there's like medium, large, extra large in like random order. You have no
Yeah.
idea what's
Goes
what.
large and small, then like extra large and
Right.
medium, you know.
Yeah. So I do like also asking the people in those stores to find things because it's just always you always get one or two people. One person is the person who's been there their whole life, and they practically want to tell you a story of why they should be manager of their department, but they're not. All right. I've been in this section for 20 years. I know everything everywhere, but they never wanted to make me manager for some reason of the whole tools department. I know how to use tools, and they just go on and on. Or you get the other person who's like, hey, do you know where this thing is? And this is actually true. I could give you a true story right here. This actually happened. This was at
Okay.
the Home Depot, so it's by my place. There's like a set. So I have a Home Depot and a Lowe's, 5 minutes away.
Right.
Opposite directions though. So they're both close, but you got to pick one. You got to choose your battle. All right.
Right. If you don't have one at Lowe's, you're like, home's in between. We go
That's
to
right.
the
I
other
might as well
store.
just go home. That's it. So
Try again tomorrow.
right. So I usually do Lowe's when it's a bigger purchase because they have a card that gives you a percentage off if you use their card, like 5% off, which is big.
Right.
It's a big number. But Lowe's generally doesn't have everything. Home Depot has more stuff. So I was looking for people who want to look for this, and I don't remember the name of it anymore. There's a special screwdriver head for screwing in IKEA stuff. So if you
Okay.
ever notice, IKEA stuff has a symbol on their instructions. It doesn't look like the plus, the Phillips. It looks like the plus with an X through it. And what that means is, instead of a Phillips screwdriver head, which is just a plus, it's a Phillips screwdriver head, but the end of it is flat. So if you use a
Right.
regular screwdriver in your IKEA stuff, you'll wear down the screwdriver and you will wear down the screws. And I bet most of you guys have done that and been like, I hate freaking installing IKEA stuff. It's so
Oh,
tough.
I just use the flathead
Right,
screwdriver.
right. Or your drill, and both of them would wear down.
Yeah.
So I wanted, and since IKEA is right next to me also, and IKEA has cheap stuff, and I like buying cheap stuff. I wanted like a cheap table, and I just bought 2 cheap tables, So
Sure.
I wanted this head, so I go to the department, and I got the other type of guy, the guy who works there but doesn't work there. He like works there, and it's like, yeah, I'm looking for this item. I need a screwdriver like this. He's like, I see what you're saying, but I don't think we sell that here. And I'm like, well, your website says it should be in this bin in this section, but I'm here and it's empty. He's like, oh, yeah, we probably need to get restocked in there. I'm like, yeah, so you probably have it. Maybe you could check in the back? I could check, but I don't know what's back there. The guy goes and he just never comes back. He's gone. He's never came back. It was like, when we worked in those stores, you didn't know what to do. You just disappear. Go into a changing room or
I
something.
don't have to deal with the customer if I just don't show up.
Dude, we used to, and I know we're doing tangents upon tangents, but when we worked at Sears together, if somebody asked where something was and I didn't know, I just said, go all the way down and make a left. Because our Sears was a circle, like a square.
Right.
And we worked in the electronics, and it was like, if they wanted something in like women's, I knew it. If they just walked down and they kept walking, they'll hit it at some point.
Right.
And you just send them, right. And they'll ask for directions again when they get down there. And it's not until you have the guy come full circle that you start to get scared, because you're like, he's coming back? He didn't ask anyone else. He's like, let me go back to this guy and ask. I could give you another funny story. I don't know if I want to take another tangent. One more quick one.
Okay.
I went to the Macy's in Philly. And now this Macy's is actually really cool because it's multiple levels. And the
all Macy's are multiple levels.
It's like, yeah, but it's like 8 stories or something. It's big.
Right.
And the inside is hollow, so all the levels have a bunch of different stuff in it, but only the first floor is a full floor.
Okay.
And then the inside is hollow, and then they have like all stuff in there. Like they do Christmas shows and like light shows, and it's cool. It's like a cool building. And the other
Okay.
companies work in there as well. So I met a friend there, and we wanted to go to whatever section. And the guy, so we're at the first floor, and I've been in it before, but I don't like know where anything is.
Right, right.
The
This
guy,
is another one that you're like, oh God, where do I find this?
that's right. I was like, where do I go? And he's like, third floor. So I was like, okay, how do I get there? He's like, take the escalator. And I was like, okay. So I go to take the escalator where he told me, but there was no escalator there. In fact, no joke, there was a wall there. Like he's like yeah, he was like, go down here, make a right, then make a left. You can't miss it. And I did that, and I was like, we're at a dead end. There's literally nowhere else to go. So I went back to the guy, and I was like, there's no escalator there. And he's like, okay, you sure you went down, made a right, made a left? I was like, I'm sure. And he's like, all right, well, it's definitely there. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, I work here. I'm like, well, why don't you take me? And he's like, I have to stand here at my station. I'm like, oh my God, this guy. So I'm like, all right, tell me where the stairs are. So then he takes me the other direction, like this way, make a left, make a right, right? We go that way, but the stairs are closed. So I find the stairs, but they're closed. God. So now I'm like, am I stranded on this floor? Like, what's going on?
How'd you get there? I guess you started there.
What do you mean, on the first floor? We started on the first floor. Yeah,
I
started on the first floor. So what ended up happening was I took so long doing this elevator and stairs, whatever, like fiasco, that the guy actually left his stand and like went home. And like another person came to the station. So he was gone. All right. So there's a new guy, and I asked the new guy where the escalator was, and it was the same freaking answer. Oh, go down there, make a right, make a left. And it was a wall. But this guy took me. And what ended up happening was, in their head, they don't count all the turns the same. So in my head, if you can make a right turn, that's a right turn.
Right.
In their head, it was only the main turns. So only the ones that are like really thick and like 3 aisles wide. All the other mini aisles don't count.
You didn't think about trying that, Jim?
No. It wasn't like I was walking. It wasn't like I was walking through.
Okay, I can make a right here. There's a bunch of clothes right here. I'm just gonna go through them.
No. Like this is a big Macy's, right? So like when you go into your Macy's, right? And you make a turn, you're not in a section. The sections are on your sides.
Right.
That's what it was like. I turned onto like a thoroughpass here. I didn't go through clothes. Like I was walking on a street. But there's a main section up front too, because it's such a big place. There are like these main avenues as well.
Right.
And I just didn't go far enough. So yeah, that was a terrible story. But it reminded me of us in the sense that like we would just send people out in directions and like whatever. If they got lost, they got lost.
You know, when I was a kid, my favorite thing to do was to leave my parents while we were shopping and hide inside
under the clothes. I did the same thing. Everyone does that. Everyone does that.
Oh, okay. No.
And your parents are like, "Oh my God, where'd they go?"
Yeah. And I used to scare everyone. Didn't even matter if it was my parents. It was just a random person walking up.
You go.
They would yell at me too.
You know, I never understood, and maybe this is me being naive, but I never understood why our parents took us to those things. Like, I mean,
well, what are you gonna do with your kid? You know,
going clothes shopping already sucks, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to go and you have to get something for a specific purpose, that sucks.
Right.
Right. It's not like you're on the weekend and you have 3 hours to kill and you're gonna meander around. You know, our parents were going on a weeknight and they were like getting something.
Yeah.
And then now you're bringing your kid. The kid doesn't want to be there. Now, if you have nowhere else to put the kid, then maybe you wait on the clothes.
So my parents tried to to smarten up. And
Put you on a
the
leash.
next time, yeah, well, that would have been a better idea. Instead, we went there, and there's like a little daycare area for people to just
Wait,
drop their kids
what?
off. Yeah, this is in
At the
Canada.
department store.
At the at the mall, you just like drop your kids off and you go shopping because you
Oh,
don't want to have to
I
deal with
trust
your
that.
kids in clothes, you know.
That's so awkward.
But I was so upset. I just remember I think I cried the whole time, inside the daycare.
Oh.
They just didn't even pay attention to me. They just
They're like another
my
crime.
parents came back like an hour later, and I was so like infuriated with them.
Oh no. They didn't care about you, I guess.
No, they never brought me back to. They never put me back in a daycare, but they wanted to try something new because they were like, "Oh my God, we can't deal with dealing with Steve and shopping at the same time."
I know we were bad kids because I think that would upset our parents, and it was fun.
I'm worried about having my own kid if it ends up like me because I see home videos of myself and I was a terror.
You were a terror. I think it was that Nutella.
You would just see a home video of them saying, "Hey Steve, how do you like Disney so far? It's great. Oh, what's that? Boom, Steve runs. Come on, who knows what direction? And all you hear is Steve, come back." The camera cuts off, and then it comes back, and you hear panting. He comes up
it's like, we got him. So you're one of those kids. So back when we were kids, I don't know if it was legal to do the kid on a leash, but it's definitely legal now.
It was frowned upon. Yes.
Now it's just like standard East Coast culture. The kids, they're not on a technical leash. The leash is connected to a backpack, but the backpack is strapped like a straitjacket on the kid, and the kid can't get out. They just drag.
I think it's even worse than that these days. I think parents these days just give kids tablets, and they're just here's a tablet. It'll distract him enough that he's not going to go do all sorts of crazy stuff while I'm going shopping because you see it all the time. You'll just see kids on their tablets. That's all they're doing.
It's definitely an interesting problem because on the one hand, I look at it as kids, if they have all this energy, they're actually just growing. They're trying to learn and expand and like be entertained, right?
Right.
And we are in a very passive culture. Honestly, all the stuff we do is a lot of sit down, a lot of people take turns talking, people take turns doing things, a lot of waiting. Honestly, we wait a lot in our life.
Right.
And as a kid,
if you add up how much time it equates to,
I don't want to think about it. But as a kid, I don't think humans were made to just sit around and wait. So they're not born like that. So I don't fault them for running around because like that's what they're made to do.
Right. But it's hard that kids get lost because they're stupid. I've lost my parents a bunch of times.
I never lost my parents.
At the beach, I've gotten lost at the mall for the exact reason that I just said. Like something would interest me, boom, Steve's gone.
But where's your sense of direction as a kid?
As a kid, what? No, you don't know where that is, and you would turn around. There'd be so many people. You'd be like, I don't see my parents anymore. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Lost. And then you try to go and like find your way. You don't remember anything.
What? You're supposed to stay still if you're lost, Steve.
So you're focused on the thing that was interested in you that you don't know what you passed as landmarks.
This is why you got lost. You're supposed to stay still and let your parents find you.
Oh, that could have been it.
That was the trick.
Not me. I was like trying to find them.
So you were avoiding them.
More lost. Yeah. And they're going crazy because they're like, "Where's Steve?"
Yeah, it must be tough. I mean, I feel bad like for parents who actually lose their kids.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's why they hold their hands a lot and make sure they're close.
Yeah, that's the thing. You never want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
I know. But it does depend on the kid's personality, right? Because my sister just never left my parents' side. That's it. She just stayed
passive.
with them no matter what. What's that?
She was passive, just sat right there.
Just sat right there. She would be fine holding my dad's hand the whole time. That's it. Never went off in all these sorts of things.
Interesting.
Not me. I was the adventurous type.
Mm-hmm. I think my sister was the same way. I mean, I
It's a
don't
boy
want to.
girl thing, but yeah.
I remember her being really dumb as a kid, like just slow.
I hope she listens to this episode.
Well, I mean, there's video proof of this. So I just remember her being like a little slower. So like she would do a lot of that stuff, like holding my parents' hand and staying close. I remember I was more like you. I was very much a excited, full of like energy, want to go do things. But I was also a scared kid. So I know I did try to lose my parents, but I'd never like I purposely tried to lose them. But like I would always like know where they were. So like I wouldn't get lost because I was always worried.
Yeah, that was the same way. Like for the most part, I did that, except for a few times that I did actually lose them.
Yeah. Oh, well, it happens. You're still here.
Because I used to be so good at it. But I think that feeds into my, the reason why I have like certain dreams that are my favorite,
Wait, you have
because my favorite dreams are the ones
dreams that come back?
Yeah. Yeah, I have dreams that reoccur. You never had dreams that reoccur?
No.
You don't dream the same thing multiple times?
Usually I never dream. And then when I do,
usually you don't dream. Okay.
When I do, it's usually bad.
Okay, well, eat some late night Taco Bell, you'll dream.
Oh gosh. I'll be in the toilet.
But my favorite dreams, and most people don't like these dreams, but I love them, are the dreams that I'm being chased, or I have to like hide and like avoid being found by something. Maybe it's spawned since I was a kid, but they are my favorite dream to do because I feel like I have to outwit my chaser, the person who's chasing me in my dream. I love that dream because
it's so weird.
I'm like outwitting, myself because it's my own dream, but
smarter than yourself.
I usually am smarter than myself, so.
That's so weird. And you have this multiple dreams.
Yeah. Well, especially with dinosaurs. I'll try to outrun dinosaurs a lot. That happens multiple times. At least,
wow.
Once to twice a year.
That's frequent.
It is.
I'm trying to think that the only good dreams I've had dreams where I've solved homework problems in my sleep. Which those were actual good dreams. We're like
you solved homework problems in your sleep?
Like I would go to bed and I'd wake up and solve the homework. Like when I was in college. That must have been some sort of like a lucid dreaming thing where like I was sleeping and like still thinking about the problems.
Yeah.
But most of them are usually nightmares in which I end up dying in very bad ways. And whenever I die, it's like a kill cam. So like I'm dead. So like I will die. And then when I'm dead, now the dream still goes, but now there's a kill cam. So I see my body and like you're in God mode. So you now watch everyone else do whatever they were doing, but you're still
okay. Does anyone react to your dead body?
No. Like once I'm dead, like it's as if I'm not in the dream anymore. Like it's the body's there, but like all the other NPCs just do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, I've never had a dream that I actually died in the dream. I've had dreams where it's like I had like a feeling of drowning or something like that.
Or teeth
like
falling out. That's a common one.
What's that?
Teeth falling out is a common dream. I've had one of those.
Yeah.
Teeth falling
I've never
out.
Teeth falling out? I've never had that.
Yeah, apparently when you're stressed, you get that.
Do you
I had one. I had it once. Yeah, it was scary. I woke up sweating. Really? I actually thought my teeth were falling out. I literally woke up and I was like, oh my God. Oh, they're still there.
I've never had
it's so weird. Like they're falling out and then like icicles and you try to put them back in and like they keep falling out and you're like, no, I'm going to be Gumby.
I'm going to have to only eat applesauce.
I can eat them brownies. So what was like your worst dream?
My worst dream? Usually that's like my worst dreams are the ones where somebody that I love or somebody would die.
So someone else
Like,
dies,
someone else
and that
dies.
makes
Those
it
are
a
my
bad
worst
dream for
dreams.
you.
Yeah, yeah, because then like I think
This
I've even
guy.
woken up crying
When
during like
someone
some of
else
them.
dies.
Yeah, when someone else
So
dies. Yeah,
you have no fear of dying yourself apparently in your
I
dream.
guess
You're
not.
invincible. Dinosaurs chasing you, no problem.
I have to just outwit it, and I can live.
I
That's how
can't
I
believe
see
you've
it.
never died. Maybe
I've
I'm a
never died.
weirdo. I die in all different ways.
Well, that'd be an
All
interesting
different
thing to
types of
hear from
people who
other
kill me.
people. I hope people can comment and tell us how many
Yeah.
people have dreams of them actually dying.
Or maybe there are or dreams like people like you who they don't in themselves have harm done to them, but others do.
Yeah,
And they're helpless to save them.
yeah. I've never like pretended. Not, I wouldn't say pretended, but like I've never pseudo had pain. Like in a dream had pain or um yeah, like I've never actually died in any of these dreams. Just, you're close to death, like you're falling out of a plane, you see the ground coming, but you wake up before
Oh, so you
you
never hit the
land.
ground.
Or common one I have is underwater. You feel like you're never gonna get to the surface. You wake up, you know, gasping for air, but I've never actually drowned in in the water, so it's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
You've
because you scuba
actually
dive
you've
too. That was
it
that
could
was
be.
yeah. Because I never had anything like that where like I've always had people killing me.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like
Are you subconsciously afraid of all the enemies you've made over your
it
life?
must be. It must be. No, but it's like it's crazy stuff. Like it's almost like movies are playing in my head. Maybe that's what it is. You watch
Oh, like
movies.
you're just a character in a movie.
Yeah,
Is how you
like yeah, because
just
whenever I'm in my dream, it's always like I'm not in my own mind. I'm like 3D view, like I'm looking at myself.
Oh, that's interesting. No, I've always had first person
Oh,
views of myself. I've never had a third person view. Yeah. I've also never lucid dreamed. I know some people have had
I think
lucid
the
dreams,
homework
but
problems is an example of that, where like you try to
yeah.
do something. I have you ever had this? Have you had it where you dreamed? It's a good dream, whatever the dream is. You have to pee, so you wake up to pee, and you go back and you finish the dream.
It's I the thing is I always try to finish the dream.
But you
Usually it
can't
doesn't pan
remember,
out.
right? You can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the
Usually
morning.
yeah, usually I'll try to continue the dream that I had, but it never goes back. Sometimes, very rarely, will I continue dreaming what I had. There's a specific method to that.
Yeah.
I have to never turn on a light
Yeah,
and
don't
somehow
do
make it to
that.
the
Don't turn
bathroom.
those lights on.
Yeah, never turn the lights on. You have to like don't try to open your eyes wide.
Mhm.
Just go pee, get back to bed, go in the same exact position you
That's
woke up
right.
in.
And think dream thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, and just keep close your eyes, and it's like you didn't even wake up.
So since you said closing your eyes, let me ask you this. When you get up to pee, do you even open your eyes?
Yes, I also can't see
So
even in the
I don't
dark.
even open my eyes anymore.
What? You know your house that well
Well,
that
you've
you
seen my bedroom. The bathroom's right there. And what I
right?
do is I just keep my eyes closed and I walk and I just keep my hand out. And I
Oh
go
my
like
god!
this. And then when I hit the wall, I know like, all right, that's the wall. And then I just like 360 spin and I'm like, the toilet is somewhere here. And you just slowly sit down.
That sounds like the highest probability of missing. Just right there. You're gonna wake up the next morning. You're just gonna see piss all over your bathroom.
Well, I
Like, oh, I
mean,
guess
if it's
the
in,
toilet
if
this
I'm
time.
going from the middle of the night, I'm sitting down. That's the
Oh
only way.
really?
Yeah, that's the only way you can do it with your eyes closed. How else can you do it?
Oh no, no, I don't sit down.
Oh,
No.
dude, I used to not sit down between when I would go, when I would wake up at night, and then I had one time I actually fell asleep peeing because I was so tired. So I
Standing up.
literally I had trouble staying awake, so I put my hand up on the wall so I could like not fall down, and
Uh
then I
huh.
went like. Oh, and pee was everywhere.
Oh my
Pee was
God.
everywhere. This was actually back in college. So, it was one of those things where you're like, I hope nobody notices in the morning. It was just,
What? You didn't clean it up? Oh my
look,
goodness.
Steve, there's water under the bridge. All right, well, with that, we're getting close to time. Was there anything else that you wanted to add in there about
No,
peeing
I
at
think
night?
missing toilets is a great place to end on.
All right. Well, thanks everybody again for joining us. If you enjoyed our podcast here, please consider subscribing to us. That'll help out a lot. We're on the social medias at CreativityLevelZero, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, podcast, and at Instagram we are at creativity_level_the 0 sign. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.